Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for checking out this episode of Revealed. This is the first episode of Revealed on the new Materia Millwork YouTube channel, so we appreciate you guys stopping by. Now, let's just jump right into it. Next to me, you'll see this cabinet. What is it and why are we going to talk about it today? Well, this particular cabinet is part of the island in a kitchen that we're currently building. We'll have all flat panel doors, but there's something kind of weird about this cabinet. If you notice, this first bay here is actually set back from the rest of the cabinet. So when we build our cabinetry and we have built-in appliances, we like to make sure that all of those pieces are on the same plane. And this cabinet here is actually going to get a built-in drawer microwave. Now, we want to make sure that the face of the drawer front and the face of that microwave are on the same plane when everything is finished. Now, in order to do that, we need to create this here jog. In this case, the thickness of that front panel is about 1 5/8 compared to our drawer front thickness that is only 1 1/8 off the case. We have a 1-inch drawer front and then an 1/8 gap between the drawer front and the actual case itself. So we need to make sure that those two are on the same plane. Therefore, the case with the microwave needs to be set back 1/2 inch from the face of the others to allow the front faces to be on the same plane. And the reason it's notched on the actual cabinet itself is because there is going to be a drawer front down below that we want to keep on the same plane as well. So this depth needs to remain the same as the depth of the other two drawer fronts, only allowing the microwave opening to be set back. So one other weird thing about this cabinet is this piece of 1/4 inch that is on the bottom. Here we just used a piece of 1/4 inch MDF because it's never going to be seen. And we did edge band the front in a pre-finished white oak edge banding to match the rest of these cases. And the reason for this is the way this microwave in particular is designed, the bottom of that faceplate hangs below the bottom of the actual microwave unit itself. We need to allow for some clearance between the top of this lower case and the bottom of the microwave panel itself. So we do that by adding in this additional piece. So to further show what we're talking about, let's go ahead and get that microwave in place and lay up these drawer fronts so we can show you exactly what we're talking about. So now that we have this mocked up, as you can see, these aren't the actual doors that go to this space. These were just temporary pieces we're putting in place here to give you guys the visual of what we're talking about. Since we are just starting this island area, we haven't quite fabricated the doors for this yet, so that'll happen a little bit later in our process. So as you can see, with our oven set into place and our doors also kind of roughed in, if I were to take this straight edge and run it across the face of our door, you can see here that we actually have a bit of a gap between the microwave and the drawer front. And that's because we don't have the drawer front spacers or bumpers in just yet. So if I take these pieces here to simulate that, these are just 1/8 inch sticks that would basically be the bumper for this drawer front. And we run our straight edge across this front again. You can see that we are nice and flush with that drawer front, keeping everything on the same plane. And the same thing would go for the drawer front down below. Adding that notch is a little bit more work. It's really not too difficult, no matter how you fabricate your cases. And the results, I think, it is a much more visually appealing end result when everything is on the same plane. So let me go ahead and pull that microwave forward just to show you guys what that difference actually is. So again, everything now is just roughed into place, and we do still have the protective film on the drawer microwave. So it does make it a little bit trickier to see, but as you'll notice, the microwave does stick about 1/2 inch proud of the drawer fronts all around. So again, pushing that microwave back a little bit to give it a proper recess and make everything on the same plane gives a much better finished result, in my opinion. So there you have the reason why we like to notch the cases for appliances like this. We would do the same thing for wall ovens or any other built-in appliance, Most often we're finding that the faceplate thickness is right around that 1 inch, 1/8 mark. So we don't have to do this for every appliance. We have noticed that with microwaves though, it's pretty common that they are a much thicker faceplate and do need this notch. Again, this is another reason why we like to have all of the appliances here in our shop before we even begin fabricating any of the cabinetry. And ideally we would have them in-house during the shop drawing process so we can make any adjustments if needed earlier on in the entire process. So moving on from this, let's just take a quick run through some of the other pieces that we have going on in the shop. So directly across from us over on the bench, we have another side of this particular island. So we have 2 cabinets, a standard pre-finished plywood interior, and we'll get painted drawer fronts, so similar to the face of this island. But then they have this open cabinet right in the middle of these 2 pre-finished cabinets. They'll be completely painted. So once all the doors and drawer fronts are on, this entire thing will just appear to be painted, including the open cabinet. So over here we have an office built in that we are working on. Part of this went over to the finisher today. We wrapped up some of these bookshelves and are waiting to wrap up a few other pieces and parts before sending the remainder of this office out to the finisher. And we have the cases for that office. You'll notice that 3 of the 4 boxes here have adjustable shelving and 1 does not. Well, why is that? This case in particular is going to house their printer. They have a rather large printer. The printer will be on a slide out shelf so they can access all sides of it when they need it, tuck it back out of the way, close the doors when they don't. Coming down a little bit further, we actually have a new project, pieces to a new project that we're just about to start. We're going to be building a sideboard and a dining table, and these are the sheet goods we're using for a few of the parts on those 2 furniture pieces. Now, these are 4-foot by 10-foot sheets of flat sawn white oak, and they are all in sequence, which basically means that each of these pieces come one right after another, the way that they were cut. So all of the graining matches throughout, and we like to lay everything out so we can get a good look at them, make the selections of where we're going to be cutting these pieces, and also in this case, the designer has requested to see the graining of the wood before we start the project, so we shot these pictures over to her for approval. So we'll share more of that process as we get to that point in the coming weeks. But for now, that's going to wrap up this episode. I appreciate you guys watching. This channel is going to be all focused on cabinetry and millwork happening here in the shop. We will take you out into the field when the time comes. Share our channel with a friend, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.